And Car Con Carne is presented by the Autobarn Mazda of Evanston, 1015 Chicago Avenue. I'm James Van Osdol, and it's winter in Chicago. You need to be driving something that is safe, and there is nothing safer than the Mazda CX-9. I've been driving this thing for the past few months, and not only do I feel safe, I love the safety features, in fact, but I feel luxurious when I'm driving this car. It is so comfortable, so easy to drive. I take it downtown. I take it everywhere. I take it grocery shopping. I love this car. Take a test drive yourself. 1015 Chicago Avenue, the Autobarn Mazda of Evanston. My guest this week, drummer extraordinaire, Matt Walker.
It's Car Con Carne. Let's eat in the car. It's Car Con Carne. And now here's the star of our show, James Van Osdol.
It's Car Con Carne on Halstead. We're in Boys Town tonight. That's Matt Walker, Peerless drummer, Matt Walker, in my front seat.
That's James Van Osdol.
It's true. And Car Con Carne, presented by the Autobarn Mazda of Evanston, 1015 Chicago Avenue. We got food from the Chicago Diner tonight.
We did, yeah.
So we're going to eat the food. We're going to talk about your storied musical career. You ready for this?
Am I ready for this?
Yeah.
Are you ready for this?
I'm so ready for this.
Okay.
All right, so I want to thank Chicago Diner. They loaded us up with food. Chicago Diner, meat-free since '83. Like when I started as a vegetarian many, many years ago, this was the first place I went to.
Yeah.
Like this was the go-to. And they're really good about bringing people in to vegetarian cuisine. I think the first thing I ever had here was the Reuben.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, that one's famous.
That one's totally famous.
Yeah.
And in fact, when we ordered, I didn't want to get that because I thought that was too obvious.
Oh, I thought you were going to say too messy.
Well, all bets are off in this podcast.
Yeah.
But you got sliders, right?
Well, yeah, because it gives you a chance to try the 3 different burger options.
Right, so the sliders, looking at the Chicago Diner menu,
Yeah,
it's an appetizer, right? Yeah.
I guess.
It's somewhere over. It's 3 different types of burgers.
Right. And to be honest, I don't remember what the names are. You'll have to do the
I may not find it right.
the analysis.
But I'll tell you what I got. I got the Soul Bowl. The Soul Bowl, grilled tempeh strips or blackened or scrambled tofu, quinoa, flash greens, mashed sweet potato, black beans, and chimichurri, which I'm totally pumped to try.
That sounds good.
And you got waffle fries, too.
Oh, yeah. Always have to get the fries.
Always have to get the fries.
It's a real issue with me.
Oh, the sliders. And look at this. Here's how great the Chicago Diner is. They put a smiley face on your order.
See.
Uh-huh.
I think they just did that for us, though.
They may have. You want to show off your sliders to the...
Is that what we do?
Yeah, show it off.
I can't say that I've ever shown off a slider of any kind.
Well, you've done so much. I'm excited that we're crossing this bridge together.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do it
You've
together.
accomplished so much, Matt Walker.
This is
Here, show it right there.
All right. It's messy, but I guess it's supposed to be.
That looks delicious.
I mean, someone
that's substantial for a slider. Here's my Soul Bowl. This is heavy.
Right.
This is going to be a dense amount of food here.
Good luck with that.
Good luck with that. Look at that. That's the tempeh, and that's blackened. Can you smell it?
I smell everything. And your car is going to smell everything for some time.
It always does. Oh, This
Yeah.
looks so good. Chicago Diner, vegetarian food. So, Matt Walker,
Yeah.
I want to cover so much with you, Matt Walker. Let's start with Sons of the Silent Age.
Sure.
Saturday night, if you're watching this on Facebook Live, Saturday night, Sons of the Silent Age, the Bowie tribute with a whole bunch of Chicago A-listers, returns to Metro, playing what I think is one of Bowie's greatest albums of all time, Scary Monsters, in its entirety. Like, my big 3 are Station to Station, Scary Monsters, and Diamond Dogs.
Okay. We've done Station to Station as
I know
well.
you have.
Yeah.
So, explain for those who don't know Sons of the Silent Age, named after a song off Heroes.
Yeah.
Explain the history of the band.
Okay. So it must have been about 8 years ago now. I had a song of mine, and I am not much of a singer, so usually I ask friends who are singers to come and sing my songs to bring them to life, and I asked Chris Connelly to come over and give this song a whirl. And he did, and as he was doing it, it was obviously because it's in my head and it's in his voice. We're like, this is kind of Bowie-esque. And then we just started talking about how much fun it would be to do a night of, just
Chris
kind of cavalier.
He's always drawn Bowie comparisons.
He has, and it's just the richness of his voice in addition to the fact, of course, he's a huge fan as well.
Yeah.
There's a lot of reasons for it, but and so we just started brainstorming this idea of doing a night of Bowie songs, and it was not meant to be anything more than that. But then the first, so we decided to make our first show a benefit concert. We decided to do it at Metro, and by the time we got all the musicians on board, the band was a 9-piece band.
Yeah.
The benefit concert was for a really good organization called Pavlov Foundation. Supports pediatric cancer.
Wait, was that the first show the one with Shirley Manson?
Right. So
okay,
then,
that's the one I was at.
Right. Like, so what became this just kind of, you know, what am I trying to say?
One-off fun.
Yeah. It got big fast. And there were a lot of reasons that Shirley was also involved. She was also connected to the Pavlov Foundation, and she and Chris go back to Edinburgh from early days.
Sure.
Their bands used to play together, so they were friends, and of course I've known her through Garbage and from time when I was in Pumpkins and Garbage for years now. So it was quite an event. It was an amazing night, and it was so much fun, and it was so successful in raising funds for the charity. It was just incredible. So from then we just started doing it annually and choosing different benefactors to raise money for, and I think this is our 7th year, which is
That's amazing.
It's kind of mind-blowing. Yeah. And we had a lot of different guests join us, you know.
Sure.
So.
Kat O'Connor, who's watching the Facebook Live, says, I've gone to every one of the benefit shows at Metro. So excited for Scary Monsters.
Oh, that's nice to hear.
That is great to hear. And when you're watching Sons of the Silent Age, close your eyes and you are in that album. You can tell you guys are fans.
Oh,
because this
yeah.
is a fan set list. And when you're busting out things like Station to Station,
Yeah.
you know, these are
We really like to go deep, and it's partially for us because we like to do it as musicians and pick the more challenging material. But we also know for the Bowie fans, they really appreciate. And a lot of the songs we choose, he never played live. In fact, Scary Monsters is a great example of that because there was no tour for that album. I think he did some promotional dates and did some TV appearances, but many of these songs were never played live. So it adds a little bit of, importance to this show.
I remember the Glass Spider tour. They busted out Up the Hill Backwards, I think with Frampton.
Wow. I didn't see it, but I YouTubed that just to see if he ever done that song live. I don't think they even did the whole song, but...
And Frampton did the backup vocals, and it was kind of awesome.
And they had the whole beginning with the abstract guitar and
Yes.
Yeah. Wow. I'm
I'm
impressed.
a huge Bowie fan, so I mean, this speaks to me in every possible way, man.
You'll probably out Bowie me, but
I don't know if that's true.
maybe not when it comes to the drum parts.
Perhaps not. All right, so Matt Walker's history, we're going to go deep into it. We're going to keep recording this podcast. This is just a teaser, an amuse-bouche, if you will. You will.
I will.
An amuse-bouche. Matt Walker, we're going to keep recording this podcast, which will be available soon on CarconCarne.com. We're going to eat this amazing food from Chicago Diner. And what the podcast holds for you, more talk about Sons of the Silent Age. And Matt's career, you've seen some stuff.
I've seen some stuff.
Through the Smashing Pumpkins,
Yeah.
Morrissey, Filter, Cupcakes, Garbage. You worked with Adam Ant. I want to talk about that.
Sort of.
Sort of?
I sort of did.
I sort of want to hear that then.
I'll sort of tell you.
Fantastic. That's all sort of happening soon on Car Con Carne. If you're watching on Facebook Live, thank you for watching. Support Chicago Diner. Support our friends at the Autobarn Mazda of Evanston, 1015 Chicago Avenue. And most importantly for this episode, go see Sons of the Silent Age, Saturday night benefit show. The one other thing we didn't mention, Michael Shannon, General Zod.
General Zod as
Lou Reed.
Yeah.
Michael Shannon's doing a set of Lou
Yeah.
Reed songs.
Yeah.
Do you know what he's going to play?
I do.
Is it like career spanning?
I do because, well, okay, just one note on that. So in that first show we played, also, Michael Shannon did a Lou Reed set before us. Because we've always had support acts that kind of play into the whole Bowie lore, Kraftwerk, thing or whatever. And so he has done the Lou Reed set before. But this time we get to do it with him because he had his own band before.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
So will it be, or is it strictly the glam period? Is it strictly like Transformer stuff? Are you going through New York, or what are you doing?
It touches on more than just one thing, so it's varied. And I can say also that it will be, because we're going to do 2 sets. And I think people should know that we are going to do Scary Monsters in its entirety, and then have a little intermission, and then play a lengthy second set, and Michael will join us.
I just want to hear Connelly yell to "shut up" at the end of "It's No Game."
Well, I've heard him yell "shut up" many times, and it had nothing to do with "It's No Game."
God, that album, Fashion, Ashes to Ashes, Scary Monsters, It's No Game, Up the Hill Backwards, Scream Like a Baby.
Oh yeah,
That
might be one of my favorites.
Oh my God,
that we're doing. Or what was a real surprise is Because You're Young.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Solid album. All right, that's Saturday night at Metro. If you're watching this on Facebook Live, go see that percussive force of nature, Matt Walker, as part of Sons of the
He might
Silver.
be there as well.
I will be there. I told you.
Okay.
Is
I'll believe it when I see it.
Oh, for God's sake.
Yeah.
Why are you busting my balls, Matt Walker?
That's what I do.
I understand. All right, thank you for watching on Facebook Live. We're going to eat some Chicago diner food now.
Bye.
And as we transition from the Facebook Live to the actual audio podcast, it's worth reminding you that Car Con Carne is presented by the Autobarn Mazda of Evanston, 1015 Chicago Avenue. All right, so we had to hit pause. We had to really focus on eating our food.
We did.
The blackened tempeh as part of this soul bowl was so good. A little spicy. My temples are a little moist right now, but delicious. And I forgot to mention, we got these drinks. These orange... God, I brought a menu. I thought I had everything in front of me. It's orange with like pumpkin pie spice.
Here, you can look for it while I can explain it. Well, actually, I can't explain it. What I really was going to say is that I don't know that I've ever had anything that tasted like this before.
No, it's totally unique, and of course that's the one page I didn't print. But they have all their own drink creations that are super amazing.
The thing is, everything is great here.
I love it. So thank you again to the Chicago Diner.
Yeah.
This was awesome. So, all right, Sons of the Silent Age. Just in case someone's listening to this after Saturday the 12th, I'm assuming Sons of the Silent Age will rise again.
Yes, we will.
And the chance will exist once more. All right, so let's traipse through your career a little bit. Most recently, on tour with Morrissey.
Tour, recording.
And now you're back home for...
about another week.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Like you're going to do the Metro gig and you're gone again?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah. This worked out just perfectly.
A lot of people, I think, came to know you back in the mid-'90s when you took over for Jimmy Chamberlin and the Pumpkins.
Right.
Rough time for the band. You stepped in. Take me back to when you were given the invite to join the Pumpkins.
Right. So just before that occurred, while I was playing with Filter, and Filter was the support act for Pumpkins in Europe for a couple of months, and that was an incredible tour on many levels, but particularly as in Filter, we were all big Pumpkin fans, and this was just when they just took over the world at this time, and we would play our set and we would play our asses off every night because we always hoped that they were watching or listening, and every now and then I looked to the side of the stage and there was Jimmy and Billy watching, it's like, pressure's on. So
that's cool.
So we were playing really well, and then we would stay always after and watch the entire Pumpkin set before driving to whatever next
Do bands do that a lot? Do they support each other like that? It's kind of a leading question.
I think it's just sometimes
Depends.
they do and sometimes they don't.
Fair enough.
But
it's awesome that was what was going on in the Pumpkins.
There was a lot of camaraderie on that tour. I have to say, they were the Pumpkins were really welcoming to all of us as Filter as being a new band and supportive. And so that tour ended, and Filter went on to open up for Ozzy in the States. Pumpkins came back to the States, and it was just towards maybe a couple months after that things happened, and they were in need for a drummer, and their management did reach out to me because we had just been, had a good relationship going, and it just it was the day after I got home from the Filter tour was the audition. I had to audition.
Oh my God.
It wasn't like I just got the gig.
So did you have to learn the songs like overnight?
Yeah, well, it was fortuitous because having just watched them play live for 2 months, I knew their set really well. Now I didn't know the songs to begin with, but I had seen how they were playing them live. And even more than that, when we played, the end of the tour was at Wembley, and Jimmy invited me to play drums on 1979. Strange foreshadowing.
I was going to say, that wouldn't be the last time that happened.
No, that was bizarre. But yeah, so there was an audition, and I did it, and I did get the gig, and just a week later I was back out on tour on that, with them.
It's a whirlwind.
And the opening show, there was like a warm-up show we did here at Metro. All paths, it always starts at
Absolutely.
Metro. Sometimes it ends at Metro.
Was that the matinee show?
Yes, it was. Yeah, that's right.
I remember that show for a variety of reasons. The thing I remember most about it, I was outside. I was covering it for Q101. The street on Clark Street was nuts. People just couldn't wait. It was like a 2:00 show with Smashing Pumpkins, and Tim Meadows from SNL was outside. He wanted to get into the show.
Okay.
And I guess I looked official. He certainly didn't know who I was, but he came up to me and said, "Hey, man, do you know how I can get into this show?"
And you're like, "Yeah, I can get you in."
And I called Joe Shanahan, the owner of Metro, who led Tim Meadows, the ladies' man, into the Pumpkin Show. That's one of my strongest memories of that particular show.
I think one of my memories of that show, it stands out, that's funny, is that James introduced the band, and just, I don't know where he got it. I think it just, it's this strange sense of humor, but he dubbed me Matt Cosmo Walker. And it stuck.
That's amazing.
Luckily, I think it's faded since then, but
Cosmo.
It could have been a lot worse.
I want to jump around a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Thinking of you playing those Pumpkin songs and doing it overnight and watching the band, because I'm not a drummer, I don't have enough of a sense of this. What do you think are the differences between you and Chamberlain? Because it seems, from what I know about Chamberlain, you're very much involved with jazz and has a different approach to things. You have your own approach.
I'd say at the time, we were really different drummers. And I think one of the reasons that Billy asked me to do it was because I was different. And I think he wanted to try different musical styles and do different things, which, of course, the next record was A Door. So it made sense for him not to get somebody who sounded just like Jimmy. Which sometimes, for me, sometimes it was really difficult to do things that were like songs that were like so closely written around his drumming style. And then others I feel like were really, easy for me to step into and do my own thing.
And through the years, through it all, you've remained in the Smashing Pumpkins orbit. You were there at the farewell show. Mm-hmm. And you're still, you're involved. Remixes and...
We've stayed really close. In fact, after leaving Pumpkins, I think we all became kind of better friends, closer friends.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Was Billy... He has a reputation as being kind of a stern taskmaster as a front man. Is that accurate? Mm-hmm. Okay. I get that.
But he is, yeah. I appreciate that. I like that,
He has a very clear vision.
He has a very clear vision. It's not always easy to know what that is, to be perfectly honest. But that's a challenge.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's go back to Filter.
Yeah.
We're like going backward in the time machine. So Richard Patrick and Brian Lee King start this band. You were not on Short Bus. You came on as the touring drummer, right?
Yeah, and essentially that's all I ever was, because I toured for Short Bus, and then before they did the next record, I left to the Pumpkins.
And you still talk to Brian, I'm assuming.
Brian and I are still close. I haven't talked to Rich in a long time.
And I think Brian and Rich are talking again.
Yeah, so I hear and I see things, and I'm really excited to see what comes of that.
So we'll keep going backwards in time here, Matt.
Uh-oh. How far back are you going to go?
Well, let's go back to, before you became the world-renowned Matt Walker, the Chicago scene. I was talking about this. I interviewed Alkaline Trio last week, and I talked about how the 1990s in Chicago were such a romanticized period. Mm-hmm. From outsiders, from people who were in the scene. What do you remember most about kind of coming up, whether we're talking about tribal opera or whatever you did in those early days?
I loved that time. I loved playing, and I played in a lot of different bands. Of course, treble opera.
You still do?
Yeah, I still do, actually. It's a habit I just can't seem to break. But yeah, I loved that era. It was really exciting, and I don't know if it was just exciting in our own little microcosm or if it was more than that.
Mm-hmm.
But I have this conversation with peers of mine, of who all look back and wonder, is there a scene in Chicago now that feels the way that did to us?
I don't know how there could be.
Oh,
I don't know.
I think no, but maybe I'm just an old,
well, it was the perfect,
cynical,
it was the perfect
out
storm.
of touch.
It was the perfect storm of everyone in the scene kind of coalescing, that sense of anything could happen, and it
Yes.
did.
Yeah.
And there was that additional heightened sensitivity on a pop cultural level.
Yeah, it felt that way.
Moving forward,
Okay.
I'm trying to capture your entire career. This is a challenge, Matt Walker. So you left the Pumpkins to focus full-time on your band Cupcakes.
Yeah.
Signed a major label deal.
Yeah.
DreamWorks. That was
Yeah.
20 years ago.
Good God.
20 years ago. What did you learn from that experience? Because that was you kind of planting your flag and saying, this is what I'm going to do. This is
What
my
did I
future.
learn? It was really difficult. It's really difficult to do your own band and make it in that kind of environment. I mean, anyone in a band already knows that, But I guess the years before that, I had the privilege of being in bands where the machinery was already in place. Obviously Filter and Pump. To go from Filter, Pumpkins, and then go and have your, be responsible for moving the whole thing forward. And in our case, I think that what made the band exciting and as good as it was the friction within the band.
Sure.
And many great bands have that thing, and it's just hard to keep that together when you have the outside pressures, all the outside pressures of the industry and expectations, and then you have so many internal pressures at the same time. It's a challenge.
Well, comparing those days to the present day,
Yeah.
is it better? And you're at a different level, but for a beginning or even a more mid-level musician, is it a better environment for music now that it's less of a label focus and more of a DIY?
Yeah, I think overall, yeah. I think for creative people who want to make interesting music in whatever realm, whatever genre, there's avenues for them to do so and to find an audience, and that didn't exist back then. But drawing attention to the fact that it's 20 years since the Cupcakes, I would say it's a possibility that something happens for the 20th anniversary. Yeah, I would say that. It's being discussed.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah. I mean,
I'll be there for that.
It's early, it's about a year away. So,
That's very cool.
yeah. I hope this happens. It's something we're talking about. So,
Time and age and distance.
So, because Preston and I are still very close. Well, all of us. Well, I'm really close with all of them.
Mm-hmm.
So, Preston and I talk all the time, and obviously my brother, Solomon, who's playing.
Who's playing on the 12th
Right.
with Sons of the Silent Age.
Yeah. Someone needs to draw up what would you call it? It's not a schematic.
I don't know, but we are reaching a point where you are the Kevin Bacon of rock and roll.
Is that a good thing?
Sure it is.
All right.
Let's talk about, I feel like you're almost like a rock and roll shark. Sharks need to keep swimming to stay alive. You need to keep drumming to stay alive. You're always doing stuff. I mean, it is hard to keep track of you. You filled in for Butch Vig on multiple occasions in Garbage. Is that just because he was busy producing, or?
There was a few different reasons for it. Some of them were health related.
Okay.
And then another time, he actually had asked me to drum in the studio. He wanted to focus more on the production, being the producer. So that was a real trip to be drumming with Butch Vig as a producer. But it was great. That was for Bleed Like Me. So, yeah, I am. I guess you could, use the shark analogy, but sometimes I think it's darker because, I came into the the Pumpkins under some pretty dark circumstances. And then same, with Garbage, because he was having health problems, and I had to come in, and I'm just wondering, should my drumming card have like the Grim Reaper on it?
Don't say that. Don't say that, dude. All right, so we talked. I teased Adam Ant. Did you just work remotely on a project with him?
It was remote. I did a track with Boz Borer from Morrissey, who has worked with Adam over the years, and this track we worked on, Adam wrote to and made the title track to maybe his last record, Marrying the Gunner's Daughter. Yeah, but that was such a thrill because I am a huge Adam Ant fan.
I just started over the past year and a half collecting records again. Back in the day, I used to have a massive record library.
Yeah,
and I mean, back in the mid '90s, they just stopped making them.
Yeah,
like CDs were it, and I had walls of CDs. I'm like, well, this is what I'm going to do, and I donated all my records to the ALS Mammoth Music Mart. Gave them all away.
Yes.
Fast forward to 2019, and I'm trying to buy all those records back. And the reason why I bring this up, just last week at Half Price Books in Niles, Illinois, I got a copy of Prince Charming by Adam and the Ants for $7.99. I was very excited.
Did you enjoy it?
I love that album. Prince Charming, Stand and Deliver.
He's a genius.
He is.
If I weren't doing a Bowie tribute, I would be trying to do an Adam Ant tribute.
And one of the few truly distinct guitar sounds in music is Marco Perrone.
Oh, he's incredible. But there's so many elements. I mean, we could do a whole podcast on why I think Adam Ant is incredible. But yeah, the guitar sound or the use of the horns versus the tribal drumming, it's just all these disparate elements that he brought together, and it's just. I don't know that the extent of what I think is his genius is appreciated. People are like, oh yeah, like Adam. I like Adam Ant. Whatever. Don't drink, don't smoke. It's like that's all they know. But anyway,
Ant music.
Ant music.
Start there.
I know.
Start there. You touched on it. You have a lot of projects that you've been working on over the years. Beautiful Assassins, Of 1,000 Faces, Most Dangerous Race.
Yeah.
It seems like you've always got stuff percolating.
I do. I've kind of settled for the time being on Of 1,000 Faces because that's the closest thing to a solo project. So it's music that I write or that I write in collaboration with people, and I have different singers, and I've been working really hard on it for many years. I'm just slow.
But you got things distracting you, like being on tour and recording albums and whatnot.
And I'm a bit of a perfectionist, and it drives my. I'm driven crazy by it. My wife's driven. My whole family's driven crazy. But I am getting there, and it would be worth mentioning that I'm hoping that come May or so that I'll put it like a full. I've put some things out, some singles and stuff, but by May I should have a full length record with some exciting guests.
You know some people.
I know some people. Even people I don't know are singing on it.
Everyone loves Matt Walker.
Well, I'm sure you can find someone who doesn't. And then you should interview them.
Right. No, but I mean, you have a great reputation. I mean, you're an exemplary player and a decent guy. I mean, that's suited you pretty well. It's worked out okay.
I put on a good front.
You do an exceptional job, Matt Walker. All right. So again, if you happen to be hearing this before the 12th, Saturday night, Metro, January 12th, Sons of the Silent Age playing Scary Monsters and Super Creeps in its entirety. Oh my God, that right there is a show. Right. Looking ahead, so you're leaving town back with Morrissey?
Yeah, I'm back out with Morrissey.
Back with Morrissey. Yeah. Maybe some Cupcakes reunion fun in the future. More solo stuff on the way. Yeah. I'm exhausted just thinking about your life.
I'm exhausted just living my life.
Thank you for doing this. You approached this with some trepidation. I think you were concerned about how the whole interview in a car thing would work.
I mean, to be perfectly honest with you, I with this show coming up, and also, I just got home from a long South American tour, and then it was the holidays, and then the show, and this morning I just thought my brain was starting to seize up. And I get it. Yeah, and I was like, I'm not sure that I can speak properly and do an interview, but I'm glad that I called you.
I'm so glad you did. And I totally get it.
Came down.
On a much more micro level, I remember when I traveled for business, which is very different from being a touring musician, but even if I would do like 3 different cities in a week, I'd get to that third airport, I'm like, what city am I in? Where do I need to be? It's very disorienting.
Yeah.
So for you to be in another country where English is not the primary language,
Yeah.
going from city to city. I'm sure it messes with you.
It messes with you, and I still love it. I'm not.
Of
complaining.
course.
I do. I really do love it, and I don't take anything for granted. But that's not to say that when I come home, I don't feel a little bit,
Everyone's tired after travel.
discombobulated.
I'm tired after road tripping to Indianapolis.
Or as my son's new word, that I think he invented, confuzzled. I feel confuzzled.
Which, if you break that down, cone is with fuzzled, so you're with fuzzled.
I like that.
If you want to break it down. Car Con Carne is presented by the Audubon Mazda of Evanston, 1015 Chicago Avenue. Matt Walker, you're a mensch.
Thanks.